Hey guys, Richard here with CRG Games, and I want to do a review on a product that I've been using since January of last year. The Ultra Pro gaming case with red trim. I have used this thing, I have abused this thing, I have tossed this thing, slid this thing, packed it way too full, and really, I think it's a good product. So let's dive in and let's take a closer look. All right, so what we'll find when we take a look at this box is it's relatively big, and it's got a lot of really good features on it too. The zippers are pretty nice. The red trim looks nice. The actual fabric itself is pretty durable. There's not a whole lot of wear on the front, the bottom, the sides at all, and I put this thing everywhere. So if we turn it around, let's take a look at the inside. There's actually a pretty darn good amount of room in here. And you'll see I've got some things kind of tossed around just a bit because they were in here loosely. Let me just grab these real quick. I'll try to at least. There we go. All right. So you'll notice there are 6 compartments, and the internal structure of this gaming case is actually cardboard. And this is the same material that you'll find in like BCW card boxes, for example. They're folded the same way, and they're the same thickness. Everything about them is basically the same. The 3 compartments up here are a little on the smaller side, and then these 3 compartments are a little bit bigger. And you'll notice they're actually a pretty decent size. So these Ultra Pro deck boxes, these actually fit right down in here. They're a little on the snug side. Actually, if I put it in this compartment, it pushes on the middle thing here. But these will fit. These fit with plenty of extra room as well. And I don't really find that they move around too much. Here I've got my pre-release kit for Dominaria United. I still got that in there. And my good old prize packs. So we'll take these out here. Take out the deck box as well. And I use this not only for carrying deck boxes. I usually have a deck in either one of these compartments. And in this compartment I'll have extra stuff. I usually try to leave it empty. That way if I pick up stuff along the way, I've got somewhere to put it. In here, this is one of the square cubes that come out of a bundle box, and generally I just fill these with dice and leave that in this compartment. It fits in there just perfect. In this compartment I always keep my draft sleeves in there, along with maybe some extra tokens, another little tiny dice box, although I don't really need that one. And in the last one I have usually just random cards. This is my little power brick here, and then sleeves as well. In the top section, slide it down a little bit, it's got all these really nice little compartments, and these are great for holding extra cards, tokens. In this one I've got my life counter, extra sleeves and tokens there, and they also fit these life counters. This is the one from the Party Time Commander deck. They fit in there just fine, and they don't tend to move around or come out either. The only time I have issues with cards coming out is usually if I have, like an individual card like this Goblin Shaman token, which is looking a little on the bendy side now, unfortunately. I think I just damaged a $16 token. I don't recommend putting individual cards in these slots. If you're going to put them in there, you probably should also put some additional stuff. That's the reason that card was bent, is because the stopper token was in there. So we'll put that behind here because these are cheap. In the top section, we've also got another compartment, and I usually keep things like USB cables in there. I think I have a mask, cough drops, things like that. Just the general stuff. I will note that if you have anything in here and you tend to throw this box around a little bit, the stuff in the top compartment, it tends to slide out, and you'll find it ends up in the main compartment here. You got to be a little on the gentle side, but for the most part, things stay where they're supposed to stay. You'll notice the stitching on the box is actually pretty good. The stitching on here is very strong. It's stitched in the top as well. And the zippers do go all the way around on both sides. Now, there are some things that I don't necessarily care for about this box, and I will show you those in just a sec, right after I put all these things back. You'll see that token has already come out. And put these back in. For one, there's a lot of extra room down here, and actually you can fit this entire stack of booster packs right in there. I think that this probably could have been made a little on the tighter side so there's not so much extra room, because what ends up happening, let me close this and I'll show you, over time the box, the carrying case tends to get deformed, and you'll see right here, this is right around where the bottom of the cardboard insert is, and this whole section here has kind of just crumpled, right, just like that. It doesn't really stay all that rigid. Now that's purely an aesthetic thing. The case clearly performs its duty just fine. That's just a personal pet peeve. Now, one other pet peeve I have is with the straps. So you'll notice right here, they're really jumbled up, right? They're not flat. Usually what ends up happening, and I've changed this here, but usually what ends up happening is these find their natural resting place just like that. And I don't really like that. This part gets all bunched up, and it's probably like that on the other side still. It is. This is how they end up naturally staying. Now when I got this, and for the first little while, they would stay normal on the long side. And then I don't know what it was that changed, but just over time, the fabric maybe lost a little bit rigidity, something along those lines, and it doesn't stay like this anymore. It always defaults back to the short side. It doesn't hurt the way the case carries or anything like that. This is, again, just a purely personal thing. The straps are adjustable with your normal, normal adjustments there, the little buckles, and these will get longer and shorter. And these straps do get really long, and you can make them really, really short as well. So they're very customizable for how you want it to be. Take a look at the bottom. You're going to throw some stuff around in there. There's nothing on it. It is a nice durable surface on the bottom here, durable fabric. You'll notice there's somewhere along the edges, and this is where the edge of that box is on the inside. So these tend to wear out first, but it hasn't worn through, and it doesn't feel like it's gotten any weaker or anything like that. It just has worn through from sitting in the truck and sitting on tables and sliding around. But overall, it's pretty durable. The bottom's nice and rigid there, so you don't have to necessarily have it on a flat surface. If there's something under it, it's not going to poke through and damage anything on the inside. Overall, it's a pretty good box. Now, there is nothing on the inside top cover that's giving it any rigidity. So if you were to smash down on this top, whatever's underneath it is going to, take the blunt of the force. So you got to make sure that you probably don't want to store your decks like this with the top up. So I usually have them on the side. That way if something does smash down on it, it's going to have a little bit of protection in there. But you'll notice we just put this thing upside down and on its side, and everything is still generally in the same exact place that it was. Even the dice, they don't really tend to come out. So I think for the money, I think I paid around $39.99, and I just checked, and that's where they're at right now. For the money, I think it's a pretty good box. It holds multiple decks, and if you don't have all the little extra things in there, you can hold more than 6 decks. You could probably hold more like 8 to 10, as long as you don't have them in big individual cases. And I like this so much that I bought one for my buddy as a gift, because he was toting around his cards in a plastic bag, and I always had to poke fun of him. So I got him one of these, and he uses it too. And I think that was probably almost a year ago. So this has been the Ultra Pro gaming case with the red trim. I don't actually know if they have anything with a different trim, but they do specify that it's with red trim. I like this case. I do recommend it. It has some little quirks and features and things that, you know, could be changed in future revisions. You know, maybe revise the inside, you know, cardboard part so it's modular, because right now you can't actually change it. You can remove it, but you can't change the configuration. So if I were to make any changes, I would make the inside probably a plastic case, and then I would make those modular so you can move them. That would up the usability of this product by twofold at least. Again, another thing I would do is I would revise these buckles here, because that's not how they're supposed to be, but that's just how they end up being after time. And I would probably make the outside sleeve here a little tighter along the box, in more form fitted. That way you don't get this crumpled up look. This won't go away. This is permanent now. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you're looking for a case, I mean, this Ultra Pro case for $40 is probably one of the best deals out there on the market. It holds all your stuff plus more, and you can take it anywhere. And it's relatively durable. I'm pretty rough on this box. I mean, you could see the wear there on the bottom. I take it everywhere. I toss it, I slide it, I roll it, I upside down, side to side. And everything stays protected. I've never had anything get damaged. I will have a link in the description where you can find this on Amazon. It is currently at about $39.95, so I think that's still a good price. If you found this review useful, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Throw a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And until next time, I'll catch you later.